According to the World Health Organization Commission on Social Determinants of Health, social determinants of health are the conditions in which people live their life every day, and which reflect their position in the social hierarchy. Basically, we might say that social determinants of health are the social conditions in which people are born, grow, age, and die. These reflect their position in the social hierarchy. This representation, based on the figure by Norway, shows 3 different individuals in different social positions. They are all striving to reach a goal, which is health. First, we see a person who represents the upper social classes, an executive who is running, agile and quick, not carrying anything, without obstacles, and reaching the health goal with no problem at all. Then we see the middle-class person, and observe that he is carrying a rock that represents the accumulation of social inequities. With additional obstacles, it will be harder for him to get there, but he will reach the goal. The individual at the base of the social ladder is carrying an enormous rock, with great accumulation of inequities. It will be very hard for him to reach the goal, or perhaps he won't reach it. This illustrates why upper-class people have longer lives and better health. They have all the social and biological equipment to fight against disease. The causes of the causes. Let's take a hypothetical situation. An individual lives in an area where there are several factories that contaminate water. He contracts a gastrointestinal disease and consults a physician who diagnoses the disease and detects an immediate cause of the problem. Immediate cause is the first cause identified when a person is suffering from a disease. This could be a virus, bacteria, or fungus. In other words, immediate causes are usually responses to infectious agents, nutritional deficiencies, exposure to toxic substances, etc. Medical research deals with immediate causes. However, there are contributory factors, or causes of the causes, such as lack of good nourishment and unhygienic condition, among others, that could determine the exposure to the immediate causes. The causes of the causes are the social determinants of health. Although the expression of disease, its signs and symptoms, are related to the immediate causes. The causes of the causes can be easily identified when a population group is exposed to a specific context, where they constantly face adverse social circumstances that contribute to the manifestation of illnesses. Let's return to our individual's hypothetical situation. Let's imagine that he already went to the doctor, received treatment, and feels better. But, of course, he goes back to the very same conditions that made him sick in the first place, the conditions of poverty and exposure to contamination in which he has been living, perhaps most of his life, and that are responsible for his illness. What will happen? When this person returns home, he will be exposed to the same environment that made him sick, and will continue to make him sick. So why treat the population and then send them back to the life conditions that affected their health in the first place? It is, of course, very important that we all have quality medical services, but it's more important to be able to prevent the visit to the doctor, focusing our attention on the causes of the causes. In order to achieve a broader and more sustained transformation, we must modify and impact the social determinants of health, and the social, economic, and political factors that can eliminate inequities. Next, we will describe the conceptual framework of the social determinants of health proposed by the World Health Organization. The first 2 columns of the model, on the left, are the structural determinants. They represent the social determinants of the inequities in health, that is, the structural causes of the causes. The third column, from left to right, represents the intermediate determinants, or social determinants of health. These are the factors which define daily life and work circumstances: food availability, psychosocial factors, social support networks, behaviors and habits, drug consumption, and biological factors. The traditional medical and public health approaches concentrate on the immediate causes and intermediary factors, respectively. Public health, for instance, promotes changing lifestyles, eating habits, preventing drug consumption, etc. While it is very important to modify all these aspects, it is not enough. Working at this level could even be seen as palliative, because it does not reach the root of the problem. In other words, it has little or no impact on the structural factors that determine the causes of the causes. We have to strive to influence and modify the structural factors, or social determinants of health inequities. Socioeconomic position and socioeconomic context are interrelated. This is shown by the double-pointed arrows that come and go. In the model, we see in the first column that the socioeconomic and political context have an influence on the socioeconomic position of people. This is the result of a combination of factors, such as education, occupation, income, social prestige, gender, and ethnic group. These two components of the structural determinants have an influence on the material circumstances in which people live. That is, on the intermediate determinants, such as the life conditions, availability and quality of food, habits, and behaviors. Social cohesion and social capital are also part of the model. They are placed in an intermediate position. The characteristics of the composition and quality of social networks and social support are developed mostly during the school years, and are later strengthened in the work environment. Social capital and cohesion have an influence on material circumstances, behaviors, and psychosocial factors. This is why they are positioned in the middle, between the two types of determinants. The health system is positioned within the intermediary determinants, but outside of the box, because the health systems, such as access to quality health care, have a direct impact on the treatment of illnesses associated with immediate causes of disease. The model reflects how the intermediate determinants, such as social cohesion, social capital, and the health system, all together, have a direct impact on health and well-being. However, in order to fight against health inequities, we need to act on the structural determinants of health, modifying, for instance, social policies, which in turn are influenced by macroeconomic aspects and public policies. It is crucial to understand that to reach the goal of health for all people, it is necessary to impact not only on the immediate causes of disease and the intermediate determinants, but also on the structural factors that influence the social determinants of health inequities. People get sick because they do not have sufficient income, live in substandard conditions, cannot buy food, and or pay to access other basic services, among other barriers. These factors prevent them from reaching the goal of enjoying complete health and well-being. All these actions are necessary, but if we strive for a real transformation, we need to broaden our view and pay attention to those factors that determine the manifestation of disease, where health inequities originate. We need to act on the social determinants of health.